Folks, real estate is changing in a big way. Like, I'm talking about the change that has happened maybe after 25 years. So you really need to pay attention to what's happening out there. I mentioned in my previous videos that NAR, National Association of Realtors in America, they were sued because they were being non-competitive in the sense that the seller had to pay a set amount of commission to the buyer's agent. There was no negotiation on that. And even here, if you talk to a buyer agent and you say, listen, you're getting this much commission, give me this much cash back, he'll be like as if you asked for his kidney. That is the general practice here. So, because of those things, NAR got sued and they lost that lawsuit. They were fined, I think 1.8 billion, it could be 1.7, but 1.8 billion. And rather than appealing that verdict, they bargained a plea and they settled for 418 million, which they agreed to pay. And then things changed. Now in America, on the listing, there's no longer commission offered to the buyer broker. So now the buyer broker is telling the buyer that, okay, listen, I'll try to get the commission from the seller, but if I don't get it, you'll have to pay me. So they're signing that contract now. That is happening there. Same lawsuit is here in Toronto. Matter of 2 years, 3 years, same thing will happen here. What I'm trying to say is there's so many illusions in our real estate market. And the biggest one is, and I'm guilty of doing that in a subtle way myself when I used to be a realtor, because that was the practice, which is a simple line saying to the buyer that, listen, you're not paying the commission. The seller is paying the commission, which on paper is correct. Buyer is not paying the commission, it's the seller. But the reality is each and every dollar of that commission is coming out of the buyer's pocket. How is that? Well, when you go for a listing presentation, a seller has a genuine figure in his mind that, listen, I need to have 800,000 in my pocket. Like, this is what I need. If it is feasible, if it is viable, then I'll sell the property, otherwise I won't, which is a very, genuine thing to say. It's your property, you want this much. Now, the listing agent would do the CMA, which is comparative market analysis, and say, listen, your house is worth around anywhere between 850 to 860. You want to net 800,000. Yeah, I can list it for 5% commission and you should be fine. So now if you read between the lines, the basic thing is that 40% of that commission is coming out of the price, right? And who's paying the price? The buyer. So it's basically the buyer who always pays the commission. But it feels good to hear for a buyer that, okay, I'm not paying any commission, which on paper is true. But the reality is the commission is coming out of the buyer's pocket. And now, when TRESA is allowing you to self-represent, which is a great thing for the buyers, I am really happy that that happened. So now you can self-represent. You can go to Realtor.ca, check out the property that you like, talk to the listing agent or the seller or whatever is applicable in that scenario, and say that you're bringing in an offer, right? And since you're not using the buyer broker, tell the seller that the commission that he was supposed to pay to the buyer broker, he should pay to you that equivalent amount, because you are doing all the hard work, you're bringing in the offer, you're a qualified buyer, you have mortgage in place, you know what I mean? So now the commission that you were paying as a buyer, you're no longer paying, you're getting that back as a credit on closing from the seller. So this is a really good thing that is happening, and it's a huge change, but nobody's mentioning that to you because that is kind of threatening the business of realtors. You will see in 4 or 5 years, the buyer brokers will be very, very rare. Buyer brokers will only cater to the population. Let's say somebody is 65 years old, they do not want to go online and look at Realtor.ca or call the listing agent. Or the people who got too much money, they don't really care. It's a $5 million house, I don't care. I have tons of money. Let the realtor do the running around. I'll just go to his office, sign the offer. Yeah, those people, the buyer brokers can cater to them. But 90% of the population are like us, who do not have that kind of money and who are decently tech savvy. You don't need to be a tech genius to do this. Just go to Realtor.ca, go to House Sigma, you have all the information. You have appraisers who will do the appraisal for you. You have lawyers who will draft the offer for you. I have a company, we have everything in-house, the appraiser, the lawyers, everybody. Give me a call. The money that you were paying out of your pocket, you don't have to pay anymore. You can ask the seller to give their query to you on closing. Look into this, guys. This is the new phase of real estate industry. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next video.